You felt it, haven't you? That crushing weight of ambition, the burning desire to achieve something monumental, only to be paralyzed by the sheer scale of it. You dream big, you plan grand, and then nothing. Just the lingering ache of unfulfilled potential, a silent accusation of all the things you could be doing. It's the invisible wall, built not by external forces but by your own mind. It tells you that if it's not perfect, if it's not revolutionary, if it's not an overnight sensation, then it's not worth doing at all. This isn't just procrastination, it's the insidious trap of all or nothing thinking, a self-sabotaging belief that robs you of your momentum before you even begin. I remember staring at a blank page for hours, sometimes days, convinced that whatever I wrote had to be a masterpiece, a game changer. The pressure was suffocating. I'd outline elaborate projects, meticulously plan every detail, and then freeze. The gap between my grand vision and my present reality felt insurmountable. I'd tell myself, if I can't do it perfectly, why bother? This mindset kept me stuck, a prisoner of my own impossible standards, watching as others moved forward with imperfect, yet consistent, action. My desk was littered with half-baked ideas and abandoned dreams, all victims of my inability to just start small. It was an exhausting cycle of self-inflicted paralysis, fueled by the fantasy of instant, effortless greatness. This isn't about lacking ambition. It's about a fundamental misunderstanding of how real, sustainable success is built. We're fed narratives of overnight sensations, of genius striking like lightning, and we internalize the lie that significant achievement springs fully formed from a single monumental effort. But the truth is far less dramatic and infinitely more powerful. Let's dismantle this myth and explore how the seemingly insignificant, the painfully small, can become the bedrock of monumental change. The first sign you're caught in the all-or-nothing trap is perfectionism as a shield. You meticulously plan, research endlessly, and refine every detail before taking a single step. This isn't preparation, it's avoidance. The fear of failure, or worse, the fear of mediocrity, keeps you chained to the starting line. You believe that if you can just make it flawless from the outset, you'll somehow bypass the messy, uncomfortable process of learning and adapting. But real growth happens in the dirt, in the iterations, in the willingness to be imperfect. Second, you experience overwhelm at the sheer scale of your vision. Your dreams are so vast, so encompassing, that the first step feels like climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops. You see the entire journey, every obstacle, every challenge, all at once, and the sheer magnitude of it makes you retreat. This isn't a problem with your vision, it's a problem with your perspective. You're trying to swallow the ocean when all you need to do is take a single sip. The third indicator is a pattern of extreme starts and abrupt stops. You burst out of the gate with incredible energy, fueled by initial enthusiasm, only to crash and burn within days or weeks. You hit the gym for 3 hours, eat perfectly for a week, work 18-hour days on a project, and then you're completely depleted. This isn't dedication, it's a sprint without a finish line. You mistake intensity for consistency, and your body and mind simply cannot sustain that level of output, leading to inevitable burnout and abandonment. Fourth, you find yourself constantly waiting for the right moment or circumstance. You need more time, more money, the perfect idea, a clear sign from the universe. This isn't prudence, it's procrastination disguised as strategic planning. You're waiting for conditions that will never be perfect, for a moment that will never truly arrive, because the right moment is always the one where you choose to take action, however small. And finally, the fifth sign is a deep-seated belief that small steps are insignificant or meaningless. You dismiss incremental progress as not enough, seeing it as a waste of time compared to the grand leap you envision. You undervalue the power of compound effort, failing to see how tiny, consistent actions accumulate into profound results over time. This dismissive attitude strips you of the motivation to even begin, trapping you in a cycle of inaction. The moment this destructive pattern shattered for me was surprisingly mundane. I was overwhelmed by a large writing project, staring at an empty document for the 100th time. My usual internal monologue of, "it has to be perfect," and "I don't have enough time for this massive undertaking," was playing on repeat. Then, almost as a dare to myself, I decided to just write one sentence. Not a perfect sentence, just a sentence. Then another, and another. The next day, I repeated the process. It wasn't elegant, it wasn't groundbreaking, but it was motion. This was the profound realization. The monumental is simply a collection of the minuscule. Success isn't a single spectacular event, it's the inevitable outcome of countless small, often unglamorous acts of consistency. My entire perspective shifted from striving for perfection to simply striving for presence and persistence in the smallest possible increments. I stopped aiming for the finished masterpiece and started aiming for the next brushstroke, however tiny. This insight changed everything. I stopped seeing a blank page as a terrifying void and started seeing it as an invitation for a single word. I stopped viewing my grand aspirations as overwhelming mountains and started seeing them as trails built by one step after another. It wasn't about willpower or motivation, it was about the quiet, relentless power of showing up, even when it felt insignificant. So, where do you stand? Are you trapped by the grand illusion, paralyzed by the pursuit of perfection and the fear of the mundane? Or are you ready to embrace the quiet power of the small, the consistent, the utterly unglamorous steps that actually build empires, careers, and fulfilling lives? The biggest leap you can take might just be the smallest step you've been avoiding.